I need you to stop telling yourself that because it doesn't feel right, it's not the right thing. Your intuitive nudges are more likely to be fear. And if you don't learn how to differentiate between the intuition and the fear, your business is really going to suffer. Now, I'm not saying that intuition doesn't matter. It really, really matters and is probably one of the most underestimated aspects that you can use in your business. However, I see way too many business owners changing their mind and not making any progress because they keep telling themselves it doesn't feel right. And consequently, their business and their income make little, if any, progress. Now, the reason that I feel so passionate about this is this was exactly me. The first couple of years that I was in business as a personal trainer were fine. But I went through a period of about 2 years where I constantly changed my mind. I was really anxious, really fearful. And I kept telling myself that because this thing didn't feel right, I hadn't found the right thing yet. The biggest shift occurred for me when I went to the States to become a certified high performance coach. And throughout that 5-day training, I realized that I had not been guided by my intuition for the last 2 years. I've been guided purely by fear. I realised that by constantly chopping and changing and never seeing something through from the start to the end, I never had to deal with the fear of failure. So as we dive into this session today about is it intuition or is it fear, I want you to bear in mind that for so many people, when they keep changing their mind, it's not the fear of what they're doing now, it's the fear if they follow it through right to the end and they have to launch the product or launch the course or do the sales call, it's that they're trying to avoid. Now, in just a second, I'm going to give you some top tips to help you identify whether it's fear or whether it's intuition, but I want to let you know this first. You need to know that anything new in your business is very likely to activate some kind of fear for you. It is not going to feel comfortable. I want you to think about the first time you got in the car, when you passed your driving test, and the first time you drove without your instructor in the car and you was totally alone. Right? I want you to think about the time when you've been completely heartbroken about something, maybe a relationship ended or something unexpected happened and you felt like you was never going to get over it. Right? I want you to think about those of you that have children, how painful that experience was, right? But you got over it. All of those experiences are uncomfortable. And yet we're being drawn into a reality now where we're told that it should all be about flow and ease, and people are using the sense of comfortableness and ease as a metric for whether they should continue to do something, and it is going to destroy your business if you let that metric come anywhere near you. Everything new, particularly in your business, is going to come with a certain level of discomfort. So the first step is you absolutely have to be able to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and activate greater levels of courage if you want your business to succeed and you want to create that beautiful, rich life that you're looking for. Now, in order for you to be able to ascertain, is it intuition that's guiding me right now or is it fear? I've got 3 questions that I want you to ask and possibly journal on, because they're going to give you the answer that you might not like, but that you absolutely need. The first question is, I want you to challenge your consistency. The project that you're thinking of changing your mind on, I want you to ask 2 aspects of it. Number 1, how consistently have I been committed to taking action on this thing, right? You should be able to see the amount of work that you put into it. And the second thing, what other metrics am I using to measure the success of this thing other than the way that I feel? And I'm going to do a second question to that in a second. So looking at the level of consistency and commitment you've had to this particular project that you're thinking of changing your mind on. And secondly, if you take your emotions out of it, what other metrics of success are you measuring to let you know if this thing is or isn't working? Once you've answered those honestly, and it's not going to be comfortable, you can then tell yourself, is that enough for me to say this is definitely the right time for me to change and move on to something else? If you're still not sure, luckily for you, I've got a couple more questions for you. The second question I want you to contemplate and journal on is, how many times have I seen this behaviour in my life before now? When was the last time I did this thing? What was I thinking back then, right? And the thing is here, I want you to become aware of your patterns of unconscious behaviour. I want you to become aware of that the only limitation to your next level is the limitation of the beliefs and the actions that you keep buying into. Now, you may see this chop and change identity play out in other areas of your life. Maybe you chop and change in relationships. Maybe you chop and change your mind all the time. Maybe you're always trying the next fad diet. Maybe you're trying this, trying that. You see, what a lot of people don't recognize that they're doing is they're trying to find an easier answer to the problem that they have. And there isn't one. Because the solution that makes the problem easier for you is your effort and your intention to that. There isn't a one-stop shop or a quick fix for anything that you're experiencing right now. Any pain that we have requires a new level of us to be able to transcend that. So I want you to think about, how long have you been doing this behavior? How many times have you seen it before? And can you see yourself falling into that again? And even if there is a tiny little bit of awareness around that right now, please allow yourself to entertain the possibility that there is a part of your identity right now that is not serving your highest expansion. It is not serving your dream life. It is not serving your higher success. It is your beliefs about you and your identity that's creating behavior that's keeping you stuck beneath this ceiling. Now, what I want you to think about is, if you decided today that you were going to commit to your dreams, you were no longer going to be a prisoner to your self-limiting thoughts, to your fears, to the judgments and the shame and anything else that you might be bringing with your past. If you were going to let that stuff go today and commit to creating your rich life, what are you willing to let go of? What are you willing to do differently? How will you stop doing this thing where when the going gets tough, you get going and you start doing something else instead? So the third step that I want you to contemplate, journal on, imagine right now, is I want you to think about first of all, the three pains that might be holding you back. So are you completely absorbed in the loss pain? If I follow this thing through, what might I lose? You may lose the safety of not being judged, of not failing, right? Because if you don't follow it through, you can't fail. So maybe what you don't want to lose that safety. You don't want to lose that emotional comfort. You might not be happy, but you know how you feel right now. Maybe you don't want to lose, your free time. Maybe you don't want to lose your Netflix at night time, because maybe you're not showing up as well as you need to right now. Perhaps. Another pain you're going to be avoiding is the process pain. Do I really have what it takes to make this thing happen? This is going to be too hard. I don't do strategy. I'm not this way inclined. Again, identity. You're buying into an old identity. So are you scared of the process? And one of the things that we can all get stuck in is the fear and the pain of the outcome. What if I do all this? What if I dedicate my time and my energy and my passion and it bombs? What if no one buys? What if I'm laughed at? What if? Right? So we don't take any action because we don't want to have the outcome pain either. Now, spend a wee bit of time contemplating that. And then the second part of this is I want you to think about just going into the future, maybe 6 months, and you see yourself nailing it, right? You've hit a level of success you've not ever had before. You have got income coming in from this thing. Like, you've got impact. You've got a raving community of fans. You've got, your email list is building. You love what you do. You feel passionate. And you're making more money doing what you love. Would you be changing your mind right now? Pretty much every time I've ever asked a client that, the answer is always no. If they already had the outcome that they keep thinking about, they wouldn't be changing their mind. But they're changing their mind because they fear that outcome is never going to happen. Which takes us all the way back to the belief that ultimately most people don't believe in their ability to make their dreams come true. And that is the thing, that is the driving force in your business. Is it really my intuitive nudge that I need to stop this thing, take this time out, regroup, rebrand, relogo, remarket, redo everything? Or actually, am I in a space where I'm scared, which is okay, because we all get like that. And actually what I need to do is I need to be courageous enough to commit to my dreams. I need to be courageous enough to build resilience and to raise the necessity for me to make this happen, because you know what? Success is the only option I'm willing to take. And if I fail, well, I can pick myself up and I'll start again. You have all that in you right now. Your next shift in success is your ability to be able to say, I will not quit. And I don't care how hard it is, because I know from experience that the pain of regret is way bigger than the pain of the challenge you might be going through right now. Now, if you want some help with this, I've got an offer for you. I'm offering some free coaching, some free live coaching. All you need to do is fill out the Google form, which you'll find below. It's an application. I will let you know if you've been successful, and we'll hook up a time and we'll go through some of your key factors that are keeping you stuck right now to help you move forward, because everybody has within them the ability to make manifest their dream life. We just need to leave behind our old identity and decide who we need to be to make those things happen. So fill out that Google form. Please drop me a like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell to get notified of the next video.